And President Biden and former President Trump have called for uniting America following last week's assassination attempt. How has that changed the political dialogue over the past few days? And how could it impact black and brown communities across the country? Joining us now is Terris Todd, Ambassador for National Center's Project 21. Todd was also previously the Executive Director of the White House Initiative on Educational Excellence for African Americans. Terris, thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I greatly appreciate it.
How about these calls for unity that we see on both sides, lowering the political temperature and coming together? Yeah. What do you make of these calls?
Well, I think it's a good call. I think, truthfully, there are more things that we have in common than that are against. The rhetoric, and unfortunately, when people only resort to local media, if you will, the news media, to get their news instead of knowing the facts, that's not a good thing, right? And so sometimes, unfortunately, some people only look at headlines, right? And if those headlines are wrong, or if they have ill intent to paint someone a certain way, then that's all they have to go off of. And so the call for unity is very important, because remember, a house divided or a nation divided against itself cannot stand. And so that's exactly what our foreign enemies, our foreign adversaries, they're feeding off of that, because once they see that Americans are divided, then they know then that we're weaker at that point. And so that's why they're flooding into the southern border to actually implant some of their people to carry out their mission against us as well. And so we got to get united. We got to become united, because we're American people, this is our country. This is the place that we call home. And so we need to do everything in our power to defend it.
Indeed. And does it come down purely to the rhetoric side, or is there something practical or more practical or policy related that needs to be brought in as well, do you think?
With tampering it down?
Yeah.
I think there could be. I know some people kind of teeter on the free speech kind of a thing. So some people understand that we are a nation that do support and protect free speech. But when that speech becomes to the point where it's creating chaos and it's creating internal adversaries, then we have to kind of address that with the truth. And so it'd be different if the truth as well as a lie or the rhetoric was being highlighted the most. But unfortunately, when you have media outlets that are pushing more of the rhetoric and lies more so than they're pushing the truth, so they're trying to suppress the truth. And so when you put a lie out there long enough, as they say in the past, then you start to believe it. And I think that's what's happening now. And so we have to get a hold of that and hold those people accountable as well.